I'm Trueson with Brookside Studios, and today is my Marketing Minute Monday. I'm going to be talking about UX, at least a little bit about it. In this short video, I'm going to just kind of give you an idea of what it is. Mainly, I'm just going to talk about what is UX. So the next time you hear the word thrown around, you should have a little bit of an idea of what it is. UX stands for user experience. In this case, we're going to talk about how it pertains to websites specifically. With web design, one of the things that's important is that whatever your goal is of the website, whether it's for somebody to find you or information that you have, maybe a service, or in some cases purchasing a product, you want to make sure that their experience using that website is really good. And that way, hopefully, because they have a good experience using it, they will do what you want them to do. What we mean by experience is if they're trying to find, let's say, your contact information to return something that they purchased online. They're having a hard time finding your information because your interface is confusing, or maybe they didn't know where the right button was, or maybe you had too many buttons, or maybe when they clicked on the contact page, it didn't take them to the information they were looking for. That's what we call bad UX. That means that their experience using your website to do what they're trying to do isn't working well. So, what we're going to talk about is some basic ideas when you're designing a website or putting one together, whether that's with a professional team like what we have here at Brookside Studios, or something on your own, using your own little website template or something that you could find online for cheap or maybe even free. The first thing that you should do whenever you're laying out a site is think about what's the objective. So make that clear. Number one, objective meaning what you're trying to get them to do. Buy something, find information, click on a video, whatever that may be. Number two, the second thing you want to do is start prototyping. So what we want to do with prototyping is we start with paper. This is what we call wireframing. A great way to do this is with a paper and pen, and all you have to do with that is take something, piece of paper, and start drawing out what you're planning to do. It doesn't have to be complicated. What's important is that you understand what it means. This is something where you can start, where you lay out your page, you start with your top part navigation, you draw out where your buttons are going to be, you figure out what kind of forms you want, where your videos might be, or whatever other things are going to be on there, as well as the pages that are going to be on the site. It's good to draw a site map where you can figure out, okay, this is my home page, and then over here will be my services page, and they'll be connected through these buttons, and then over here I'll have this thing, and you can draw it any way that makes sense to you. Once you have a good understanding of how you're going to lay everything out, then you can go ahead and create a little more high definition version, if you will, something that might look a little closer to the site, and then you can show this to somebody. Get their feedback. Let's say you've got your objective clear and you've got your prototype. The next thing you're going to do is design it. Now, in our case, we use a variety of softwares, and then we have dedicated software developers that turn it into code. For you, let's say you're not doing that. Let's say you're going to use a template online. From here, once you have your prototype, all you got to do is use whatever service you're using to create your template, and then you're going to lay it out. Now, I have a website here that we've designed and built. This one is for a company called ASAP Heating and Air. So for ASAP, what we did is we first started the top of the page. What's important is to make sure people know where they are. They need to know that they are, in fact, at the ASAP that is the Heating and Air ASAP, because there's a good chance there's some other companies named ASAP. So we want to make it clear in the top section, immediately they know we are at the Heating and Air place. So that's what I call the who we are section, just to make it clear that yes, you are in fact at the right website. The second thing we're going to do is talk about what we believe is the most important thing for this website is for them to get a hold of these guys. So think of the scenario. I'm at my house, my AC went out. The first thing I do is, let's say I used ASAP in the past, I just need their phone number. If I'm aware of who they are, I've worked with them before, I'm looking for their phone number. So I Google it, I get to their site, we put the phone number in a contrasting color, in red, right? Red draws attention, especially in our culture. We're used to red being something important, like a stop sign is red or a red light. So that's why we use red there. Up at the top right here. Next to it, we have rebates and warranties. This is something that we know is important. It's not something I need immediately. It's not gonna be the thing that I need to get to right away, but it's something that when I get to your site, if my goal was, I bought a thing from you, and you say, all you gotta do is go online to our website and you can redeem the rebate. For me, a UX thing is if I have to dig to find that rebate section, that's bad UX, because rebates are already something that's not really fun to do. So if we put it up here where it's clear and easy to get to, and we know the person's looking for it, hopefully they'll be able to find it. That's why we put that there. As well as warranties. If something broke and I want to make sure it's warranted, we've got our warranties right up here at the top. Under that, we have our navigation. This is our top navigation here. We've got home, about, products, services, builders, resources, estimates, and contact. Hopefully, depending on who you are, as in which user you are, these things make sense. So people that are building houses, which is a common thing that this company works with, they install AC units and heating units for new construction is a big portion of their business. So we went ahead and put together a builders tab so that people who build homes, they go, hey, you guys do commercial stuff as well. If, let's say I just want an estimate, we've got that down here. Okay, I'm not gonna get too much into the weeds about this stuff. I'm gonna show you this next section. Here we have our H1. We've got this cool little thing that moves on and it says speed you can count on, and it types in the next thing. Comfort you can count on. All that's doing is drawing attention. It's what we call butter. It's just something nice to look at. It shows something kind of cool and flashy, and it just overall makes the site kind of more exciting. The next piece of UX that's important here is this need a repair, it's this contact form. So this is something that if I don't want to call you for whatever reason that may be, let's say I'm at work and I'm at a work environment where calling for personal stuff is important, but I do want to contact them on work hours, which you shouldn't do. But let's say I do. Something like this contact form is going to be great because I can go ahead and click this thing in, type my information in here, click the button, and I know that hopefully somebody will respond pretty quickly. I don't have to call. And that's why we have it right at the top, because that's important for our objective. Our objective, designing the site for ASAP, is to make sure that the users, whoever they get on here for, if they need something quick, like a repair right away, if they don't want to call, we're ready to give them a digital way of contacting. Now let's scroll down through this site. The next thing we have here are the three main important things that we believe our users coming to the site care about. We've already addressed what's at the top, our emergency kind of situations. Here's I don't have an emergency, something isn't broken right now, I don't need a tech to come up today, but I do want to see what you guys have here. So let's say I'm thinking about upgrading my AC unit. We have this section here. We got a little icon, cute icon that says replace, and then we have some copy that explains what that is. Under here we have what we call a call to action. This is a button. Call to actions meaning I'm clicking on something, I'm ready to do something. So that's what these are here. Each of these say more than read more. Read more is kind of boring. Spice it up. Say something like view inventory, schedule appointment. You know, I guess this one's learn more, but that's a little more relevant to what we're talking about. Under that here, we have another section. There's no job we can't handle. Here we're talking about, we're addressing a specific user, the builders. I talked about those before. In the commercial circumstances, if I'm a builder and I'm trying to find somebody who's qualified to build a house and put all the right equipment in here, I need to make sure these guys are qualified. So when I click on that button, it takes me to a list of all the qualifications that these guys have when it comes to commercial services. So that's who it's targeting. The next section here, we want to talk about people who are ready to upgrade. So if I'm a user, I don't have something's broken, I don't need somebody to come out right away, but I'm looking at upgrading my system, I come down to this section, and we have this talking about the upgrade, we have this cool picture of these people in comfort. I click on the button, I can see the systems. Now if I'm concerned I can't afford it, well guess what? We have financing. We talk about that right up front. Click the button to get approved. Okay, then again, rebates. If they didn't find it at the top navigation, which is possible if they weren't looking for it there, we've got this dedicated section which is very clear. Okay, one of the things that's important with UX is giving space. If this is crammed up with a bunch of information, it gets hard to focus on all these different things at once. So we break things up into sections. As you can see, we've got these line breaks, giving them sections where each thing has its own little place to talk about what it's talking about, one idea at a time, one objective at a time, I would say. Under here we have our little tips. This is something that we use to further this company's brand as far as things they offer. Here's some free information. This is always something that's great. If people are on here, they get something free inside, they'll be a lot more likely to help you out. So with UX, a common thing is you gotta give something to get something. If you're asking me to sign up, well, why would I sign up for your newsletter unless there's something in there I care about? So make sure that you say, hey, we've got something really cool in this newsletter that you might want. Okay, you're giving me something. So what do I get in return? Okay, sign up. All right, well now you get my email address and whatever else that you might need that's useful to you besides giving me your newsletter. So if you just say sign up now, nobody's gonna do that unless you gotta give them a reason to sign up. Okay, we're getting to the bottom here. Now we have products. This is the area where we talk about the different units that they sell, all the different varieties of things that they offer, and then once we get past that, we get to the footer. This is the bottom, the end. Footer has the brass tacks, I call it. This is our phone number for their 2 different locations, social media information. Again, we have the full navigation at the bottom with all our drop downs broken down in case people didn't see them up at the top. We have a little contact form if they have any questions. The top contact form, this one is about repairs. This one is just, I was wondering if you guys got my email or something like that. I could contact them here. And then the bottom, we have our associated companies that they work with, our Better Business Bureau, the different companies they carry, Energy Star certifications like that. So hopefully this kind of makes sense. Again, this isn't like a, let me tell you everything about UX. This is just to explain to you what it is. So the next time somebody talks about UX or throws that word out there, you'll have an idea of what they're talking about. It's pretty much the strategy and planning of how you're laying out your site, how you're putting your information, how you're structuring your buttons, the order of things. And you do that to achieve an objective. The objective being, I want them to buy, or I want them to come into the store, or I want them to use this coupon, or whatever that might be. So you lay things out, variety of things. We use color, we use contrast, we use something that's different. Often the thing that is different is the thing that'll stand out. I mean, there's a whole science to this. If you want more information on that, you can always call us or contact us. You can comment on this video. Any questions you have, we will get back to you. I would love to talk to you about UX more personally, where we can really get into the depths of it. I think that's about it. Yeah, stay tuned. We've got another Marketing Minute coming up next after this. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it, like it. It helps us out. You know, we really appreciate that. All right, I'm Trueson with Brookside Studios. This is my Marketing Minute Monday.